Imagine leading 108 laps. Imagine outdriving three of the best teams in the country for 3 straight hours. Imagine watching the checkered flag come into view, and then watching your own teammate take it from you. Not a rival, not a stranger, your own team. Again, for the 7th time this year. There are 2 races left before the most unforgiving stretch of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season begins. And right now, inside one of the sport's biggest teams, there is a fight nobody is talking about. A fight between teammates who are supposed to be on the same side. Before we get into who, what team, and why, let's talk about where this all explodes next. The Dollar Tree 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the final race of the regular season. And speaking of not missing what happens next, if you're new here, this channel is NASCAR Voltage, and we're closing in on 500 subscribers. If breakdowns like this are the kind of NASCAR coverage you want more of, hitting subscribe costs nothing, but it tells us to keep making them. A like, a comment with your own take, and sharing this with another NASCAR fan, that support is genuinely what keeps this channel growing. Now, back to the story. Let's start with the man who looks untouchable. Denny Hamlin leads the point standings with 969 points, a cushion of 115 points over second-place Ryan Blaney, heading into the final 2 regular season races at New Hampshire and Daytona. His resume through 24 races reads like a driver peaking at exactly the right time. 4 wins, 14 top 5 finishes, 16 top 10 finishes, and 880 laps led. This is not a driver who is simply fast. This is a driver who is fast and clean, week after week. Under the current chase format, finishing as the #1 regular season seed is not just a symbolic honor. It comes with a real head start bonus once the 16-driver field resets for the 10-race postseason, a postseason that, unlike past formats, has no elimination rounds. In other words, the points Hamlin is banking right now are not just bragging rights. They are a structural advantage he could carry deep into the fall. But here's the crack in the story that nobody wants to say out loud yet. Hamlin has been here before. A dominant regular season has not always meant a championship at the end of it for him. Is this finally the year the #1 seed turns into the #1 trophy? Or does the story repeat itself? That question isn't answered here. It's sitting there, unresolved, while the points keep piling up. But while everyone is watching Hamlin's number, almost nobody is watching what's happening 2 cars behind him, inside his own building. Here's a stat that sounds almost impossible. Christopher Bell has led more laps and finished second more times than nearly any full-time winless driver in modern NASCAR history. Through 23 races, Bell has 7 runner-up finishes and Fenner Racel's tied with Harry Gant's 1981 record, while carrying a personal 30-race winless streak. And the drivers who keep beating him to the finish line are not rival teams. They are his own Joe Gibbs racing teammates. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, and now Ty Gibbs. The clearest example came at Iowa. Bell dominated the race, leading 108 laps. His own crew called him in for 4 tires late in the run, while Ty Gibbs's team gambled on 2. That gamble worked. Gibbs held Bell off by inches for the win. Bell's own words after the race land harder than any commentary could. Christopher Bell said, "It's bad I can start ranking them." That reaction didn't go unnoticed outside the team either. NASCAR analyst Kyle Petty called Bell out publicly, asking a question that's now hanging over Bell's entire season. Kyle Petty said, "When's he going to pass a leader? So is Bell simply the unluckiest driver in the sport right now? Or is something about his closing instinct becoming a real visible weakness across the garage?" Bell himself has described this season, in his own words, as a run of trials and tribulations. Watching his own teammates celebrate the wins he came so close to taking has clearly worn on him. But he's still talking, still racing, still showing up. Here's what makes New Hampshire matter even more for Bell. After Iowa, he moved up to 6th in the points standings. He now needs a win, and specifically, he needs it at a track where he actually has a strong history, Loudon. If it doesn't come this weekend, the best driver without a win storyline follows him straight into the playoffs. So here's the real controversy nobody wants to say out loud. Is Christopher Bell the most unlucky driver in the sport right now? Or is his own team quietly deciding he's not the one they want to win? That question is not resolved here. It's for you to argue about in the comments. Now let's talk about the driver on the other side of that Iowa finish, the one whose win is fueling this entire controversy. Ty Gibbs is no longer just the rookie having a nice year. At Iowa, he came back from a bad pit stop, fought through the field, and held off his own teammate for the win. That result marked his fourth top-4 finish in the first 4 short-track races of the year. Gibbs currently sits third in the points standings, just 127 points behind Hamlin. That's not a gap that puts him out of championship conversation. Just 100 stave the 27, that's a gap that makes him a legitimate threat heading into the postseason. And here's the part that makes this so uncomfortable. The same win that made Gibbs look like a rising star is the same loss that's making Bell look cursed. 2 storylines, same race, same team, completely opposite directions. While the JGR drama plays out, there's a collapse happening that barely anyone predicted at the start of the summer. For most of 2026, Tyler Reddick was the story of the points standings, leading every single week through the summer stretch, at one point holding a real advantage over Hamlin. That lead is gone now. A rough late summer stretch has completely erased it, and Reddick now finds himself fighting simply to hold his position rather than chase the number 1 seed. Meanwhile, Ryan Blaney, the defending winner at New Hampshire, sits quietly in second place. He's never been the loudest storyline of the season, but he's the one still standing every time the chaos clears around him. Is Reddick's slump just a rough patch, or is this the same pattern the sport has seen before? A points leader who peaks too early and fades right when it matters most. Now to the part of this weekend that could genuinely blow up before the race even starts, the playoff bubble. Shane Van Gisbergen currently holds the final, 16th and last playoff spot. Right behind him, just 50 points back, is Ryan Preece, and New Hampshire happens to be essentially his home track, which makes this the single most pressure-loaded weekend of his entire season. Further back, Ross Chastain sits 63 points out of a transfer spot, and this year that's a strange position for him to be in. He's managed only one top-5 finish all season, nothing like the aggressive, chaos-driven version of Chastain fans are used to seeing. And then there's Brad Keselowski, sitting 78 points back, who needs something close to a miracle in exactly 2 remaining races to keep his season alive. 2 races. That's it. For some of these drivers, Sunday isn't about winning anymore. It's about not disappearing from the conversation entirely. And here's why all of this drama lands at exactly the wrong track for anyone hoping to avoid mistakes. New Hampshire Motor Speedway is known as the Magic Mile, a track where track position is everything, and small mistakes get magnified rather than forgiven. Adding to the tension, Goodyear has brought the same short-track tire compound used at Richmond, a tire designed to fall off hard on long runs. That means pit strategy. The choice between 2 tires and 4 tires could once again decide who wins and who doesn't. Remember that exact 2-tire, 4-tire gamble that broke Christopher Bell's heart at Iowa? That same kind of decision is about to matter again, this Sunday, at a track that punishes exactly that kind of mistake. So which story do you actually believe? That Hamlin's momentum can't be stopped? That Ty Gibbs just proved he's the real threat in this points battle? That Christopher Bell is simply unlucky? Or that his own team is quietly picking someone else to win? That Tyler Reddick's collapse is permanent? That Ryan Preece can save his season on the track he calls home? 2 races remain before the playoffs begin, and after everything that just happened at Iowa, trust inside at least one garage looks very different than it did a month ago. If you want more breakdowns like this, 2 hours fact by fact, driver by driver, no fluff, make sure you're subscribed to NASCAR Voltage. We're pushing toward 500 subscribers, and every subscribe, like, comment, and share genuinely moves that number. Drop your own prediction for New Hampshire in the comments, tell us which storyline you're watching closest, and share this with a fellow NASCAR fan who needs to see it. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next.